This is the Secretary of Defense. This is not a serious person. He should have been fired after Signalgate. He runs around on a stage like he's a 12-year-old playing Army. When Donald Trump was writing birthday greetings to the monster Jeffrey Epstein, I was the first on the scene to recover the bodies of my fellow astronauts.
I have a few clips for us of Mark Kelly sounding off on the Trump administration that is now trying to drag him through political persecution for his constitutionally protected speech. If you can, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton, and we're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and let's get right to the breakdown.
This guy is so unqualified for the job. I mean, think about this. He runs around on a stage talking about lethality and warrior ethos and killing people. We have the most competent, capable military this planet has ever seen by far. That's not the message that needs to come from the Secretary of Defense. The message should be about what's our mission and accountability and the rule of law and training. And let me make sure you're equipped to do really hard jobs. Let me give you all the tools you need to do something that often is an impossible mission. And instead, he runs around on a stage like he's a 12-year-old playing Army.
And to again clarify, this is coming from an actual veteran, highly distinguished, 39 combat flights, over a dozen medals and ribbons, to two sissies, Donald Trump, who dodged the draft, and Pete Hegseth, who only shoots a 40 if we're talking about Miller High Lifes. It's hilarious to me. Lloyd Austin, under Biden, was constantly called a DEI hire just for being black, mind you, like it was one of the more racist attacks because he was clearly qualified. And Trump follows him up with a far less qualified alcoholic Fox News host with a past of racist comments and potential domestic abuse. I mean, you have to love the vindication for DEI here, as like, since he's done away with it, Trump has lowered the quality of every position in which Biden had a person of color staffed. It's actually remarkable.
I can't imagine what our allies think of looking at that guy in this job, one of the most important jobs in our country. In my view, after the President of the United States, it is the next most important job. He is in the National Command Authority for Nuclear Weapons. And last night, he's putting out on the internet turtles with rocket-propelled grenades. I mean, have you seen this? This is the Secretary of Defense. This is not a serious person. He should have been fired after Signalgate.
Exactly. He should have been fired 10 times over. And again, like, let's imagine what Fox News would have ran had Lloyd Austin done this, had a leak like this happen under Lloyd Austin. Imagine what would have been said about him and DEI and all of this. Seriously, I want you to think of that. But this shows how Trump has sort of pigeonholed himself with these MAGA talking points. He just blamed DEI for lowering the quality of, well, writ large, everything in the economy, but like services in our government because Biden had a DEI cabinet. That was the common talking point, right? He then came into office saying he was destroying DEI. He was going to pick a cabinet off merit, and he picks a historically undiverse cabinet. He can't now acknowledge incompetence, let alone incompetence that never happened under Biden, because you're showing that your non-DEI cabinet is far less quality, far less efficient than Biden's DEI cabinet, which would single-handedly debunk every lie that they told about it. Great job, Trump.
In 1991, when Donald Trump was driving the Taj Mahal casino into bankruptcy, I was getting shot at over Iraq and Kuwait. In 2001, after Donald Trump said that the collapse of the Twin Towers meant he now owned the tallest skyscraper in Manhattan, I was carrying flags honoring 9/11 victims into space on a rocket ship. In 2003, when Donald Trump was writing birthday greetings to the monster Jeffrey Epstein, I was the first on the scene to recover the bodies of my fellow astronauts who died when Space Shuttle Columbia exploded during re-entry. In 2011, when Trump was hosting a reality show and peddling conspiracy theories against President Barack Obama, I was sitting next to my wife's hospital bed.
He ate him alive here, and he left no crumbs. Mark Kelly is more of a man in his pinky than Donald Trump could ever be in his entire racist, bigoted life. And I just hope that this new low he is stooping to, attempting to prosecute a distinguished war veteran, 2 deployments, fought in the Gulf War, 39 combat flights, over a dozen medals and ribbons, prosecuting him all for exercising a constitutionally protected right, the freedom of speech, in a video where he simply reminded troops that they don't have to follow unlawful orders. You know, as a veteran might do when giving guidance to new soldiers looking for that kind of guidance. He didn't mention Donald Trump giving unlawful orders. He didn't insinuate it. He didn't even say, don't follow orders. He says, you don't have to follow unlawful orders, which is correct, by the way. But according to Trump, questioning his authority, I guess, is warranting court-martialing a retired veteran, guys. This is who he is. It's sick.